You good?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
It's just like a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
I grew up in Oregon. I lived there for about 5-6 years. And had always really struggled with loneliness. I felt like I had these shackles on me that I could never get rid of feeling lonely and feeling like I needed to get a lot of men's attention to satisfy this void in my heart. But at the end of the day, it never filled me. It just got worse and worse, and I just dug a deeper hole in my life. And then I moved to Texas, and I started working in a restaurant. And during this time, I was still really battling my loneliness. I was still really battling that void in my heart that I felt like could never be filled. I tried to fill it with alcohol and men, and so when I got this job, I was bartending. There was a guy that was pursuing me that I had said no, like I'm not interested. And so I ended up giving in about 2 months later. The relationship was really unhealthy, abusive, and reckless. And I ended up breaking it off because I didn't want to go down that road. And I knew that I was doing it again out of my loneliness. And once I broke it off, 3 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. God allowed this to happen for a reason, and He was trying to get my attention so I wouldn't keep walking down that path. I ended up cutting it off with him because he wanted me to get an abortion, and I never wanted to. So I quit my job because I worked with him. But what I didn't know is that for 8 months, I was going to be jobless. I remember sitting in my car and crying out to the Lord and saying, Lord, I know that you've allowed this, but it hurts. I was alone. I was broken. I was dealing with my guilt. I was dealing with the burden of my sin that I chose. And I just cried out to the Lord and I said, Lord, you love my son. And I just lifted my hands and I said, Lord, he's yours. And during this time, Tristan was walking with me through that time, the really good friend of mine that I met in Portland, in Oregon. And she had said, and just was always encouraging that, at any point that she was there for me no matter what it looked like. And so I prayed and I said, Lord, if you want me to do an adoption, I need the peace. And a couple days went by of just prayer, like intense prayer. And I told my parents and my family that I had decided to choose an adoption at 7 months pregnant. On October 27th, 2019, at 12:47 p.m., I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy who was about 5.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, to Friday and Monday. Well, I will sometimes. Well,
I felt every emotion every mom feels about their child. Wanting to hold them, love them, kiss them. And it felt like I couldn't really live in that because I knew that I was giving him up. And so after 5 days of having him and having that sweet time with him and praying, I told Tristan that I was ready. And I knew that when I was signing those papers, I was really handing them over to the Lord. The Lord had something prepared for me that was so much bigger than than what I saw in the midst of like the darkest of times. I had no idea. I remember looking at him and crying and thinking, there is nothing in the world that he could do that could separate my love from him. And I remember crying and thinking, that's God's love for me. That is the heart of God for you, for me, for all of his children. Tristan and Adam are my closest friends. And that they're allowing me to be a part of his life in every way. And we have a love for Liam and for Jesus that has gotten us through all of this. I remember before when people talked about being set free, I felt like I didn't understand. Because I never allowed God to set me free. I wanted to do what I wanted. But when I allowed him to, that was when I was made new and set free. So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light and momentary affliction is preparing us for eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison.